Okay, so I made it to Amsterdam. Lots of hustle and bustle going on. But yeah, I took a flexi bus. Took me 8 hours from, well, probably a little bit more than from Germany where I was. So yeah, now in the glorious Amsterdam. Didn't get much sleep on that bus ride, but that's okay because some coffee and some sightseeing will do the trick. But yeah, we're just gonna go around and explore the sites here. Obviously, this is a very famous city for all sorts, for the red light district, art, museums, and its culture. And obviously it's cafes and stuff you can do in the cafes and all that great stuff. And it's really nice because it's only trams in the center of the city, not much vehicles. Great, you can freely walk around without the hassle of getting hit. So yeah, let's have a look around the glorious Amsterdam. Do a little spin around. Woohoo! There you go, there's some friendly advice of what not to do here in Amsterdam. Obviously in Germany you can public drink, but once you're out of Germany, you cannot. So yeah, don't buy drugs off the street. Just definitely don't do that. Buy it from the vendors, I guess. That's funny. Walking around all the small streets of Amsterdam. Gotta be careful of the red light district because you're not allowed to take a video, obviously, in that area. Love all the building. Kind of reminds me of Harry Potter, actually.
As I continue my stroll through the streets, I love seeing all the canals and boats passing by. Everyone just seems so chill, enjoying their day. And then there's the parking. People park so close to the canals. Knowing my luck, I'll come back to find my car swimming at some point.
All right, I'm outside the great church here. Whoa, look at that. And also behind me is the red light district. Well, some of it. I mean, you can see the windows. It's quite funny. It's around the church. I didn't think it was around the church. I knew it was close to the church, but it's actually legitimately just behind me. Well, there you go. That's Amsterdam for you. Go to church after. Okay, and we're here inside the old church, Oude Kerk. And as you can see, it's absolutely massive. It's a monolith of a place. If you've ever seen Warhammer 40k, yeah, the Imperials, they would build something like this. Absolutely stunning with the glass paintings. It's about 13 euros, a little bit more than 13 euros. But yeah, they give you this little audio guide here, built in the late 12th century. It started out pretty small and then, yeah, grown to something like this. Absolutely crazy, and a lot of people back in there used the church. I think they even sold goods in this church, and people use it as a bypass in between getting around the city. So yeah, a lot of history in this church. Read the book and some highlights as well. This is also a museum as well. I think they got some exhibitions going on inside. And we are actually standing in Amsterdam's oldest building. If I do pronounce the names wrong in this video, I do apologize in advance. Kind of a bit dyslexic. Anyway, let's have a look. Okay, well that's an inside look of Oude Kerk. As you can see, there's some floor markings below me. Probably maybe trip on them as you walk through, but they're absolutely incredible. There's actually a lot of people buried under this church. A lot of these floor markings represent the crest of the family that have been buried here. They're absolutely stunning as well. And they're all around the church. Definitely a place to check out. It's in the middle of Amsterdam, near the red light district. But yeah, I mean, that's Amsterdam for you. Bit of a nice breeze outside here. Right behind me is the Royal Palace of Amsterdam.
Okay, let's have a wander through the Royal Palace. It was built between 1648 and 1655. Lots of influential people have walked through this place and stayed right here.
Okay, so just got done with the Royal Palace, got some music behind me. It's really interesting, they still use it today. If some foreign minister comes to Amsterdam, they'll shut it down and they get to use it. And it's been used by some very influential people throughout the years. But yeah, it's still operational. Definitely go see it. You're not allowed to take video, you can take photos. I've got a couple in there that you can check out. But yeah, no, it's definitely come to see it yourself. There's a lot of Napoleon stuff in there. Like I was pretty skeptical of going in, but you know, it's actually worth the time and the money. It will take you probably an hour to do, you get a full audio tour, but I wasn't gonna stay there for a full hour. mean, if you want to really dissect everything, go ahead. All right, let's have a look around some more.
Alright, now that we covered some of Amsterdam's history spots, let's talk about the city itself. When you think of Amsterdam, one thing probably comes to mind pretty quickly. Yep, I mean, they have it all here. Woo! But here's the interesting part. Cannabis isn't actually fully legal in the Netherlands. Instead, the country has a policy called toleration. Cannabis is technically illegal, but coffee shops are allowed to sell small amounts under strict conditions. There's another thing tourists often get wrong. You can't just walk around Amsterdam smoking whatever you want. And yeah, you're allowed to buy the magic stuff as well, but a different version of it is allowed to sell in shops. And anything other than this, you gotta watch out for, and I'll tell you a bit later in my story. But with all that said, I wanted to experience the nightlife. So I booked myself into this tour. I mean, it's not a bad way to make some friends, check out a few bars you probably wouldn't find on your own. And of course, I did some drinking games, and a lot of bottles went flying. And some of the people you meet are definitely already on that Amsterdam train. Woohoo! Yeah, this guy was having the time of his life. He's on the moon, baby. Woo! I also ended up walking around in the early morning, and honestly, I felt pretty safe. Although, I did have one guy asking me to come down an alleyway because apparently he had some stuff for me. Some itch, he called it. Yeah, nah, I said a few Australian words, and I got myself out of that situation pretty quickly. Now look, if we backtrack to this store I showed you before, yeah, I might have
Do a bit of dibble-dabble and stuff.
God, let's just say the way back was a wild ride on the tram. I was holding onto that pole for dear life, and honestly, I think the people on the tram were probably used to seeing that. The tram lady was even telling me to smile more. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to hold it all together. Oh, God. And then I got back to the hotel. Only problem was, I forgot what room I was in. So there I am, trying a few different doors, hoping one of them was mine. Oh, let's just say I explored a little bit more of my hotel than I originally planned. So if you're visiting Amsterdam, remember, coffee shops are fine, but drugs aren't simply legal. And just like everywhere else, don't overdo it. And don't be like the dumb Australian swinging on a pole. Hope you enjoyed my Amsterdam adventure, and I'll see you guys on my next side quest. Catch ya!